Choice Hotels get you more of what you value. Comfort Inn, it's calling your name. Save on the stay. Oh, and free waffles are yours to claim. Book direct at choicehotels.com.
Hi, I'm Ben Harper.
Hey, this is Brad Lukowicz. Hey, this is Lou Temple. You know me as Axel on The Walking Dead.
This is Smooth Best Henderson.
Hi, this is William Duvall, singer of Alice in Chains.
Hi, this is Jim Cuddy from Blue Rodeo.
Hi, I am Zach Ward.
Hey guys, it's Alexis Ajoria, 7-time NHRA National Event Champion.
Hey, what's going on? This is Bubbles.
This is Ricky. This is Julian.
And you're listening to the Toddcast podcast, baby.
Are you the type of person to make New Year's resolutions? Eat better, work out more, be kinder, be a better listener, maybe donate to a local charity. All great ideas. Although I've personally never been that type of person to make a resolution. I resolve to be a good person, sure. That's a given. You get what you give. I hope to eat better. Probably not going to happen. Would love to drop 20 pounds in 2020. Something about turning 40. And that shit just packs on now. I resolve to keep banging out this podcast. Will it be for the next 10 years? I don't know. We launched in January 2015. We're now into our 6th year, carving out a nice little following, some decent plays, not mind-blowing, but it's certainly enough to keep me happy, and all of our amazing and super supportive sponsors, which is equally important. Want to make sure they see the benefit of continuing to help things rolling along here, and we're coming out swinging in 2020. 4-time Canadian Olympic snowboarder and all-around badass. Mercedes Nicoll is a guest this week. We've known each other and followed each other online for a couple years now, threatened each other with a good time hanging out, maybe do a podcast. And over the Christmas break, we managed to align the schedules. Riverdale actor Ryan Robbins is a guest this week as well. He recently nailed down the role of Fred Andrews, but you'll know him for tons of other shows as well. Pure, Van Helsing, Arrow, Hell on Wheels, just to name a few. 2 local beauties on the cast this week. Coming up in just a few minutes in Stop Me If You've Heard This Before, another beauty, Nickelback singer Chad Kruger, talking about people that he'd like to collaborate with. That is brought to you by our buddies at ProTech Welding, steel fabrication on the North Shore here in Vancouver. You can find them online through protechwelding.com. First, let's get to that first guest of 3. You're going to love this week's musical guest, Black Joe Lewis, brought to you by the Railway Stage and Beer Cafe. You can find them at 579 Dunsmuir, 579 Dunsmuir, downtown Vancouver. Love Joe's band, the Honey Bears. Big fan, pretty stoked to have him on the podcast. And you'll hear in the interview that Joe actually picked up the guitar later on in life, which is kind of surprising considering his playing. You would think that listening to him that he's been playing since a little kid. Black Joe Lewis and the Honey Bears have been around since 2007, so they're coming up on 13, 14 years now. Formed in Austin, Texas a couple years later, Esquire magazine called them, quote, one of the 10 bands to break out at 2009 South by Southwest Festival. Maybe you've been lucky enough to see them live. Critics worldwide rave about their performance. Google search their 2008 set from Lollapalooza. Just a fantastic live band. They played Letterman a couple times, The Late Late Show with Craig Ferguson, Austin City Limits. They played Coachella, Bumper Shoot, Sasquatch, just so many festival appearances as well. And they've done really well on the Billboard Blues chart. In 2017, their album Backlash debuted at number 3. You can hear the full talk right now at our iTunes, Spotify, and SoundCloud pages. Search it out through Toddcast Podcast. In the meantime, here's 10 minutes with Black Joe Lewis.
Subscribe on iTunes at Toddcast Podcast.
I would love to go back to the beginning, Joe, with you before you're in bands and stuff and find out what's the music in the Lewis house as a kid growing up. Like, what are the bands your parents are playing and exposing you to?
My parents liked a lot of like stuff like like Prince and all that, like a lot of kind of like 80s funk stuff, and Chic and whatnot. I didn't really try. I when I was a kid, I listened to a lot of rap. I didn't really start expanding my musical taste until I got older, and then as I got older, I got really into like punk rock stuff from like the late 70s punk rock, and then and then after that I kind of just got into everything else, I guess. So
yeah, and so as a kid, you're listening to rap. Like what are the bands that are grabbing you and at that age?
I used to listen to A-Ball and MJG a lot.
Oh wow.
a lot of Ghetto Boys, Scarface solo stuff, and then and he had like all the like the Tupac and Biggie, all like the main, like kind of like the other stuff, the obvious stuff too, But those were probably my main 2 or 3.
Yeah. Interesting. And then it's to punk. And how do you make the correlation to the style of music that you play with your band?
I was never I was never a rapper, as far as like whenever I started playing guitar and all that, I was kind of into a bunch of different stuff at that point. But, I always felt like punk and blues were similar in styles and whatnot. You're kind of talking about like Hardships or whatever. And, it's got a lot of the same chord movements and whatnot, so.
Yeah. And what was the first concert that you attended? How old were you?
I was in high school. I used to hang out with some crazy skater kids. And,
yeah, same.
We went to, what was the first, I think the first show I probably went to was like some local, and there used to be this band called Black Pistol Fire or something like that.
Oh yeah, they're Canadian. Well, actually, they're a couple guys from Texas, I think, that burned up to Canada. They're based out of Toronto now.
No, yeah, they not them. I said the wrong thing. That was way a long time ago. It was a Black Pistol Pump or something like that. It's some crazy, some weird. I know what you're talking about. I know this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, this band is like kind of like a metal band that would play on 6th Street, and they would the club would let us in through the back, for some reason. I don't know why. I think somebody's dad knew, one of the people that worked there. I don't know what happened, but they used to let us hang out in the back and
nice
the road and all that kind of shit
back
in the day.
That's cool. And how old were you when you started your first band?
Whenever I started playing out, I was probably 20.
Oh, no way. That's fairly old in retrospect.
Yeah, for sure. I didn't start playing guitar until I was like 19, 20. Also, I kind of just picked it up late.
Wow. Interesting.
I didn't really come from an art family, so I came into a lot of things when I got older,
Yeah. Who was I talking to the other day? Do you know Alter Bridge, Mark Tremonti?
No.
Anyway, it's like the nucleus of Creed. When they split up in, the mid-2000s, they formed this band called Alter Bridge with Miles Kennedy, the guy that's singing with Slash. Anyway, Mark.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Mark. I remember that.
Yeah, Mark said the same thing, that he was kind of a late bloomer, and it surprised me because, when you get guys like you and like Mark that are really, gifted at playing, it's surprising to hear that it's like, when you hear like, oh, wow, I didn't start playing until I was 16, until I was 20. It's like, what, really? Wow, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So you're 6 albums in now. You're a couple EPs as well. Does it get easier to write and record songs over the years?
I think it gets harder because you kind of get it's easier. The more you do it, I feel like it's harder to come up with newer stuff,
like original stuff and not kind of ripping yourself off almost.
Yeah, it's kind of like, it's hard to explain. It's like it's easy to do stuff in the beginning, but to keep it going, it's harder kind of with anything,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you kind of just, it also becomes more of a job. So you're not like,
right.
It's not as exciting as it was when I was first started doing it, you know what I mean?
Well, of course, dude. I mean, you get the first record, you have as much time in the world to put that one out. And now there's suddenly pressure to, follow up the success,
Yeah, it's definitely tougher.
Yeah. Of course, when I mentioned that you were going to be a guest of the podcast, there's a bunch of Black Joe Lewis fan questions. I'd love to get to some of those here. Yeah. Karen wants to know, do you believe aliens have visited Earth?
I think, yeah, probably. I don't see why it wouldn't have, I don't know if it's like everybody says it is, but I don't see why it couldn't happen.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's probably more, far-fetched to suggest that we haven't been visited.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. It's funny though that if we have been, and the governments across the world have just kind of tried to suppress it, it's like why? Like why would we try to suppress that? To me,
you got the whole the religion angle where people want to believe that like God just created us or whatever. I think it's that kind of angle.
That's probably it. Yeah, I mean, you think of the mass bulk of wars is because of religion. So you're probably right. Probably bang on there.
Yeah.
Steve wants, and I'm curious about this as well. Steve wants to know, what was it like playing Letterman? You get to hang out with the guy at all? Is there
not really.
Is there more pressure when you're playing to like, one song to, there's millions of people watching?
Yeah, I kind of feel like there's more pressure when you just do one, because if you screw up, you kind of, that's like the only thing you're doing.
Right.
Whereas like if you're playing a full set, it's not as big a deal. But
and also in a full set, like you're truly not clicking until 4 or 5 songs in, right? Like it takes a while for you to really get to that peak playing, isn't it?
Yeah, sometimes every night's different, but
yeah,
it's a little bit different. It's like freezing cold in there too.
Is it really?
Yeah, they keep it really cold.
What was it like? Did you get to talk to him at all, or?
Not really. I mean, he shook his hand at the end.
Yeah.
He's like a megastar. He doesn't really,
No, he's massive.
I think he liked this because I've noticed that he talked to us more than he does the other bands. Like most of the time, he doesn't even say anything to him.
Right.
So both times we were on there twice.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, both times he was cool with us.
Yeah, that's great. So, I think he's one of the best, late night hosts for sure.
Yeah.
And so, how does that work? You obviously have like promo people dealing with all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I don't remember. I think we had whoever our booking agent was at the time probably got that set up. Like, yeah, that's all kind of stuff you kind of do like when you're a new band.
Yeah. Well, even when you're an established band, I'm sure, if you talk to Pearl Jam or the Rolling Stones, they'd be like, fuck yeah, man, I want to play Letterman. Why wouldn't you want to play that?
Yeah, sure.
I'm curious about your thoughts on legalized marijuana. It's been just over a year here in Canada now.
Oh, I think it's pretty cool, man. It's like Texas sucks. If you get caught with it, you go to jail still. So
really,
it's the way it should be. Yeah, you can't really do anything. I don't know why people like it here so much.
Wow.
But it's just an excuse to lock people up.
Oh, it's incredible, the incarceration rate in the States. Not that I know the numbers. I'm not, studied like that, but I, just reading and it's just staggering the amount of people that get put away for smoking doobs or like, having a bit of weed in the car crazy, or man. Whatever. Like, what the?
Yeah, I don't understand it. It seems like we got like a president now that kind of wants to move things backwards, like away from that direction, so.
Yeah.
I don't understand why people want that in their lives. You know what I mean? Like, I guess they've created like this big fear of something that they feel like they need to be protected from.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, it's crazy, man. Texas sucks. But, yeah.
It's the new motto for Texas. Joe, I'm going to be, I'm aware of your time. I don't want to take too much of your time, but I have a couple more questions, and then I'll let you go. And thank you again for doing this. I'll give you an oddball and then probably the toughest question for you. Yeah. Have you ever had a near-death experience? And not necessarily where you're walking to the light or whatever, you're floating over your body. More like, holy crap, I could have died there.
Yeah, I was eating at Taco Cabana a long time ago, and I was like choking on a fajita.
No.
And nobody, everybody just sat there and looked at me and shit. And I was like, I'm trying to like force it down with some water, and then like the water just started coming on my nose. It was like, eventually I kind of like bared it out, like I got it to go down or something, or I coughed it. I can't remember, but
wow.
I remember being like, oh yeah, that was pretty scary.
Yeah, like looking around, nobody's helping. Like, really? Really?
Yeah, everybody was looking at me. I was like leaning side to side, making all these noises and shit. And then everybody sat there fucking looking at me. So
eating their fajitas.
Yeah, but it worked out.
Musical guests of the Toddcast podcast are powered by the Railway Stage and Beer Cafe. Check them out at 579 Dunsmuir, downtown Vancouver.
I can see by the look on your face that you know what's coming next. We never said the things we needed to say just to keep ourselves in check. And I heard you say that you were leaving, but I didn't want to listen at all. Cause you feel like you're the one who's losing, but I'm the one who's taking the fall. Cause even after all you have said and done, I can't make wrong turn on the way to your house just to keep time from moving on. If this is it, and this is the end, and I can't find the words again, you should go, baby, try to forget, because the memories are all we have left. Even after all you have said and done, I can't make the words fall off my tongue. It's just a writing on the wall. Just because we've never said it before doesn't mean that it's not true. I'm not holding out for you. It's just a writing on the wall. It's just a writing on the wall.
And now, stop me if you've heard this before on the Toddcast podcast.
Without a doubt, Nickelback is one of the most played rock bands on North American radio over the last decade. You hear them in pretty much every major city on the continent. They've been together for almost 25 years, certainly not an overnight sensation. They toured Canada multiple times, booking shows themselves, calling radio stations to get their music played, and the hard work pays off. They've sold over 50 million albums worldwide. And when their singer Chad Kroeger was a guest, we talked about aliens visiting Earth, how Metallica was his first concert. We talked about writing songs after waking up from a dream, honoring Dimebag Darrell, how the Beastie Boys made a big impact in music. The superpower of invisibility came up. So did working in studio with ZZ Top's Billy Gibbons. We talked about hanging out with Devin Townsend, growing up with the Beatles, Boney M, and ABBA. And stop me if you've heard this before, Chad talked about admiring Lenny Kravitz's work.
I've always wanted to work with Lenny Kravitz. And I've met Lenny many times, and he's a sweetheart. Just the nicest guy ever.
And he records all the stuff. I don't know if he still does, but he did for the first few records.
Everything.
He threw down everything.
Everything, yeah.
Drum tracks, bass, guitar, vocals.
Yeah.
Wow, amazing. And then builds the band to tour with the project that he just did.
That would be
amazing.
That would be really cool.
Yeah.
You know, to jam something with Lenny would be pretty cool.
Stop Me If You've Heard This Before on the Toddcast podcast is brought to you by ProTech Welding, a CWB certified steel fabrication shop in North Vancouver, and online at protechwelding.com.
That band is Bonds of Mara and their top 10 rock radio single, Lights Out. It's a Canadian supergroup of sorts formed by members of Hail the Villain, Default, My Darkest Days, and Sons of Butcher, and we've got them playing their first live show in Vancouver, not this Saturday, but next on February 15th. You can see them at the Railway Stage and Beer Cafe. 2 podcast favorites, No Liars and Crankshaft, will open up the night. You can get $10 tickets right now in advance through myshowpass.com. It's $15 if you wait for the door, and assuming, of course, there's tickets left. We'll see you there. This is going to be one hell of a night. And played you a band called Best Night Ever, and their song was called Writings on the Wall, and their singer Patrick Gavigan has teamed up with Phil Dixon to play a podcast show at the end of the month. They're going to be playing together, which is amazing. I don't know that they've ever done that in a live. I know that they posted a lot of stuff on Facebook, and the harmonies are insane. It's incredible. February 28th, the last Friday of every month, the Railway Stage and Beer Cafe presents one of our Friday nights series. We're at volume 31 with Patrick and Phil together. Kellen Sipe and Emily Malloy will open up that show. Cannot wait for this one. Just $8 in advance right now, again, through myshowpass.com. We'll fire things up for that one at around 9 o'clock. Speaking of live music, you can find info for those shows and a lot more than just the podcast shows, with the indie scene at toddhancock.ca. There's a bunch of great shows always coming up in Vancouver and the area. Get out there and support local bands. It's brought to you by Mystic Rhythms Rehearsal Studios. 40 plus years experience in the music industry. You can find them through mysticrhythms.ca. Coming up later on in the podcast, in Listen to This, actress and blogger Teresa Longo talks about aliens and the chances that they've visited Earth. It's powered by Tedco RV Supplies in Langley. Service, repair, ICBC accredited. You can find them through Tedco RV Supplies Inc.com. First, the second of 3 Toddcast guests this week is our sporting guest, 4-time Olympian pro snowboarder Mercedes Nicoll. It's brought to you by Block E Media. Grow your business online, social media marketing, digital advertising, and a lot more. You can keep up with them through blockemedia.com. You've been watching Mercedes on the world scene tearing up the halfpipe since her early days of the World Cup, debuting in December 1999 in Whistler in halfpipe and snowboard cross. 3 years later, in 2002, she won bronze at the World Cup. In total, she's won 8 World Cup medals and is a 5-time Canadian national champion. She competed in the 2006, 2010, and 2014 Winter Olympics, indeed one of Canada's best snowboarders. In 2018, she was named to Canada's Olympic team for the 4th time. The full conversation is definitely worth hearing. Search it out through Toddcast Podcast on iTunes, Spotify, and SoundCloud. By the way, she's probably going to fire up a podcast soon. That'd be pretty cool to hear. Till you hear that full conversation with Mercedes, here's 10 minutes with 4-time Olympian pro snowboarder Mercedes Nicoll.
The Toddcast Podcast.
How old were you when you first slapped on a snowboard?
I think I was about 12 to 13 around that time.
It seems kind of late.
Well, okay. That was in the mid-'90s when snowboarding kind of became the it thing. And I had skied everything on Blackcomb and Whistler, and I was looking for another challenge. And the mid-'90s brought around snowboarding for me.
And are you as good, or were you as good on skis as you are on a snowboard?
I grew up, ski racing, not in the full, tight cat suit, but I could get my way around the mountain okay.
Rad. And so what's your first snowboard memory?
Oh gosh, it's actually embarrassing. We my friend and I were in descent ski suits that were purple and turquoise, full skier outfit.
Yeah.
With Sorel boots, taking a lesson on Whistler Mountain.
Nice. Nice. And have you ever had anything dicey?
What do you mean dicey?
Holy man, I could have lost my life there, or...
Oh, yeah. Probably, the one that actually comes to mind is the one that happened in Sochi in 2014, where I had a crash, and I I got right back up because it was the Olympics. And when I was done and I competed, I was just like, okay, I think I have a concussion. Things are not going well. And it actually took like pretty much 2 years of my life away from me.
No.
Yeah. I couldn't walk. I couldn't talk. I couldn't write my own name. And the recovery, what literally was like 2 years.
That is insane. Is this like immediately after having a concussion you're feeling like that, or how long does that take?
No, so I was, I only figured it out that night, after the crash. I went to the club and I saw the lights and the sound and I puked right away. I hadn't even had a drink yet. And I was like, okay, I think I might be concussed. And I gave it like 2 weeks, and flying home from Russia is where we were for those Olympics. It took about 3 days, so I wasn't sleeping properly. And, when I got home, it was just like all downhill from there.
That is crazy. Holy man.
Yeah.
You hear a lot of people having concussions, but you never know just how devastating it is.
You don't. Yeah, I actually did a TED Talk on it because my brother and my family didn't know how bad things really were for me, and I actually didn't either until I'd kind of seen myself through it, and I was like, okay, I was not at 90% the whole way. It was pretty bad.
Wow, that's insane. And tell us about your first time on the World Cup podium. It had to be an amazing feeling.
Yeah, and that was in Whistler, too. I actually didn't get to stand on the podium because, funnily enough, it was my first time getting a medal at a World Cup, and I knew there was drug testing, and the drug testers actually took me away, so I wasn't able to stand on the podium for my first World Cup podium.
Come on.
I was going to take a pee test in front of someone.
That's awesome. Really, they couldn't have just holded, for a sec? If I
had known the rules, then of course, they are supposed to wait with me while I stand on the podium. But again, I was young and I didn't know how it all worked. So I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll go with you. Okay, yeah. Didn't think anything of it.
Wow. What an accomplishment, too. Mercedes, let's get outside of snowboarding and, of course, what you're known for.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering, what's the music like in the Nicoll house as a kid? Like growing up, what are the bands that your parents are playing?
Oh my goodness, I love that you asked that. I literally grew up on Meatloaf.
Yes.
My mom and dad are huge fans of Meatloaf.
And of course, it's got to be the what's the record? Is it called 2 Out of 3 Ain't Bad?
Bad Out of Hell.
Bad Out of Hell. That's right. And does it get any better than that? Exactly. Right. Start to fit. Same for me. It wasn't played all the time, but I heard it enough that that record, start to finish, is just untouchable.
It really is. And my parents went and saw him in Toronto.
Oh, cool.
And they said it was the best concert, 3 hours long. He didn't stop, and they were just in heaven. And I wish he was playing again, but I did end up going to see the musical in Toronto when I was there.
Oh, cool. How was that?
It was not, it's okay.
Yeah.
But for the songs, obviously the songs are amazing, but it wasn't exactly what I expected.
That's cool. I was going to say, have you seen Meatloaf? But obviously you didn't. What was your first concert that you saw?
Oh, man. I remember, going down to Vancouver, and we were on one of the, I don't know, maybe it was Our Lady Peace or something like that. And then we had Nickelback come to Whistler when we had a bowling alley, and we were all too young to actually go on the dance floor, so we were just cheering from these picnic tables.
Playing? Sorry, what did you just say? Nickelback played a bowling alley? Is that what you just said?
Yeah, in a bowling alley in Whistler.
What?
Yeah.
When was this?
That was before they were big.
Wow, man. Yeah, imagine them playing in a bowling alley today. Yeah.
It would be interesting.
Do you have cable still?
I do.
Yeah, see, I haven't had cable. Oh my God, it's been a long time. 8 years maybe? It's been a long time. As soon as Netflix came out,
how do you get your news?
Jump online and surf and whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair.
I mean, I guess I'm stuck on my phone. I hate those updates where they're like, oh, this week you went up 20% and your screen time was whatever. It's like, holy fuck, is everybody like this? Really? 3 hours a day I'm looking at that stupid phone?
It's true. It's true. I kind of want to go back to a flip phone.
Totally.
And there are people that are doing that.
Well, you know, I actually didn't have an actual iPhone until I got let go from CFox 6 years ago.
Huh.
Just flip phone. Like, you want to get a hold of me, call me.
Yeah.
Or I'll fumble through the push
Has
3
been your
times for the
reality.
letter C. Yeah, totally, right? Like, and I didn't actually have a Facebook page until I got let go from radio either.
Oh, man.
I know. I wish I could go back to those days now.
Welcome to the screen world.
I know. My God. Where are you most active, do you think, on online?
On social... I just...
Like you're on. I see you every once in a while poking around on Twitter and stuff.
I'm not like always on Twitter, but I do get my news on Twitter. Like I like to see what's going on there.
Yeah, same.
I'll go to Instagram, but I'm really trying hard not to watch too many people's stories. But I like to share my stories and keep it pretty real.
Yeah.
And then Facebook is just an endless pit that I could be on forever. So I'm trying to do less.
Oh my God, I know. I always heard about it before I had a Facebook page, and I'm like, it can't be that. Like, it's like you get talking like it's crack, and it is crack.
And then I go to Snapchat for the garbage update. Just pure garbage.
Nice.
But, and you can't see your like the clock on your phone on Snapchat, so you're just. That's a deep dark hole too.
Yeah, well, that's what they do in casinos. They don't. Have you noticed when you go into a casino,
exactly.
look for a clock. Not happening.
No.
They do not want you to know how long you're in that place.
No,
like, yeah,
it is true.
Yeah. How about superhero movies? Do you get into the Spider-Man, Deadpool, Batman, and all that?
Huge.
Like, how
fan.
good is it? Right.
I love them, and I feel bad for people that are upset that they're all coming out because I absolutely love them. I'm a Marvel fan for sure.
Yeah, I mean, like as a kid, for me, I collected so much. Like all my money, 90% of my money went to like I'm buying comic books or graphic novels or whatever. So the comic geek in me is just freaking the fuck out right now.
See, I have an older brother who did that. He's like a comic book fiend, and I grew up with X-Men watching with him, and I like. When is the next X-Men coming out?
Yeah, good call. I have no idea, but I mean the spin-offs that they have too, like Logan, had to be one of the best superhero movies ever.
Mm-hmm. I love them all.
Yeah. What's your favorite, do you think?
Oh gosh, I don't even know if I could think right now. Yeah. I'd have to look at the full list. Oh, I did want to do the 48 hours of Marvel while Infinity War came out.
Yeah.
I was like, have I seen all of them? Should I watch them all in order? Do I have that much time in my life?
Do I have that kind of time to actually sit down and watch them all? But when Jon Favreau put out Iron Man,
that was unbelievable.
Mind blown. It was
right, but now you go back to it and you're like, not that cool.
It's still pretty good though. It's still pretty good. He set the bar to the point where everybody's like, okay, I get it. Like if I'm making a Marvel movie, you better do it.
Yeah.
Which, if you could have a superpower, which power would you want to have?
I think I'd want to fly.
Bullet fast, like whipping around the world in 3 seconds.
Yeah, because I love to travel.
Yeah.
It would be just better for the environment too, wouldn't it?
Way better. Your footprint would be non-existent.
Exactly.
Yeah. I always say teleportation. Do you know the X-Men Nightcrawler?
Yeah.
But
he can only go to where he can see.
Yeah, but that's fine.
Oh, so you want to go far.
Sporting guests of the Toddcast podcast are brought to you by Block E Media Inc. Digital marketing plans and solutions. Done for you and done with you. Online at blockemedia.com.
If you listen to the cries of a soul you care for, you're buying time for those who can't seem to afford it on their own. If you open your when escaping our hands. You'll see life is good and beautiful, my livelihood and pockets full of sand. It's hard to pay attention when you smile like that. I've got nothing but the love for you. My friends, look up and see skies are blue. Even when it rains, your sun shines through you. You make me whole, you do. You make me whole. You make me I've got nothing but the love for you. My friends, look up and see skies are blue. Even when it rains, your sun shines through you. You make me whole.
And now, listen to this on the Toddcast podcast.
Teresa Longo is an actress and a blogger. You're going to know her from The Cocksure Lads, Blur, and To No Man's Land. She's also a fitness expert, was Miss Italia North America 2011. She's a musician, supports several charities worldwide. She works in digital media and is a stock trader as well. And when Teresa called up to be a guest, she shared her thoughts on legalized marijuana. We talked about CCR and the Stones and the music that was in her house as a kid growing up. We talked about hockey, the Raptors and their big championship win. And this was fun. Teresa also talked about whether she thought aliens have visited Earth. Listen to this.
Oh, totally. I'm going to get so much flack for this, and like my mom's going to kill me, but they probably visited me.
How could they not have visited, though? Like, have you not seen the videos
I know.
that are posted all the time and like super Mach 15 speed spacecrafts that are making right, you know, 90-degree turns? Like, that stuff doesn't exist.
Yeah, I know. You know what? I worked with a shaman for a bunch of months a couple summers ago, and we were doing all these cool things, shamanic things, and I learned a lot about aliens, and they basically don't want to scare us. So if you're kind of scared of them, they won't show themselves or you know, any activity. So they don't want to scare people, and they think that we need to take better care of the planet. They really think that. So that's kind of some cool things that came out of my work with the shaman in regards to UFOs and what the message they would tell humanity.
Listen to this on the Toddcast podcast is brought to you by Tedco RV Supplies in Langley, an ICBC approved repair shop. Find them online at TedcoRVSuppliesInc.com.
are No Liars, and I love that one. It's called Animal. They're based out of Victoria on Vancouver Island. Going to be hopping on the ferry to play a show for the podcast, not this Saturday, but next Saturday, February 15th, downtown Vancouver at the Railway Stage and Beer Cafe. The Toddcast podcast presents Bonds of Mara's first Vancouver show. No Liars and Crankshaft open up. You cannot beat the ticket price as well. You can grab them right now for $10 through myshowpass.com. If you snooze and hopefully tickets are still at the door, they're $15. Played you Phil Dixon, and his song was called Nothing But the Love. Phil's headlining a podcast show at the end of the month with Patrick Gavigan from Best Night Ever. Friday, February 28th, you can see those guys together at the Railway Stage and Beer Cafe as part of the Toddcast podcast Friday Nights Volume 31. Kellen Sipe and Emily Malloy will be opening up the show, and for $8, come on. Tickets priced from 2002. Hope you can make one of these two shows that we're doing. Super excited for both of them. All right, Todd's Trolls is coming up in just a bit. The stupid, the mean, the hurtful, but really it's the funny things that people say to what you post and what you see online. This week, Green Day, Birds of Prey, and the Super Bowl share in that spotlight. It's powered by Good Times Gin and Tonics, putting the GTs back in the G&T. Find them through goodtimesdrinks.com. Of course, they're all over Twitter and Facebook as well. Trolls is coming up in just a bit. First, our final guest of this episode 213, Riverdale actor Ryan Robbins, this week's entertainment guest, brought to you by Pete's Meat in Kitsilano, Vancouver. Butcher shop and deli, quality, natural, sustainable, hashtag all of them. Vancouver's best butcher shop by a landslide, and Pete's a good guy as well. Find them through 12th and Arbutus in beautiful Kitsilano, Vancouver. As mentioned, you'll know Ryan Robbins from Riverdale. He recently picked up the role of Fred Andrews, but you're going to know him for so many other roles. He was in Stargate Atlantis, Sanctuary, Battlestar Galactica, mentioned Pure, X-Files, Van Helsing, Arrow, and a lot more. A really cool story. The hustle and grind your way to the top. He's a good Canadian kid, born in Victoria, BC, currently living in Squamish, I believe. I've known Ryan for years, actually going back to the late 1990s, early 2000s kind of thing, when he was in a local Vancouver rock band, back to his early years of the acting career. A really good dude, deserving of everything that's come his way. A great talk. It was really nice to catch up with him. The full talk is now posted at our iTunes and Spotify and SoundCloud pages. A simple search of Toddcast podcast will find them. Till then, here's 10 minutes with actor Ryan Robbins.
The Toddcast podcast.
I was a big comic book fan growing up, and that sort of shaped my imagination as an only child. And comic books and music and movies. And then sort of later when I was able to sort of appreciate performance, I was really motivated by guys like Paul Newman was a big deal to me. Robin Williams was a big deal to me. Sort of a vast, one of the earliest memories I have is watching Three's Company with my mom, and John Ritter just blew my mind. And the stuff my mom would watch, like Three's Company and the Carol Burnett Show and Physical Comedians, ironically, were like the first thing that caught me. John Ritter, Tim Conway, that stuff, I just thought was incredible. And then later, it was seeing Robin Williams do dramatic turns that kind of started to really amp me up a little bit. And then when I found out that Michael J. Fox was a BC kid who had made it, suddenly I had all this hope. And finally, 21 Jump Street was filming in Vancouver, and you're like, wait, what? Hang on a second, that's so close. I grew up on the island in Victoria, and there were these stories that made me, think, maybe I could do this. I don't know. I had no idea how to get into this business, and it was a crazy, crazy journey for me, including like homelessness and living on the streets of Vancouver. And the craziest part was music was always a part of my life, and it was being in a band back in the old days. And a wonderful filmmaker named Kristen Clarkson was a fan of my old band Helen Keller, and she put me in a movie. She cast musicians. She cast me. She cast my very good friend, my brother Todd Kearns, in the movie, and and we made this tiny little movie. And from that, I got an agent, and everything sort of went from there.
And it's not like you were a drama nerd in high school.
I went to an arts-oriented high school, and I did have a really incredible drama teacher who inspired me a lot.
Oh, cool.
I was definitely performance-oriented, but I was driven differently. I'm a blue-collar kid. I'm just like my work ethic, is kind of a bit unique. Like I want to go to work and I want to do the best job possible, and that really motivates me. And I constantly feel like I've got something to prove. Like I don't think I'll ever be satisfied. People ask me, what's your favorite role you've ever played? And my answer is always, I don't know if I've played it yet. I'm not satisfied yet.
So we're talking off the top about the shows that people know you from: Pure, Van Helsing, Arrow, of course, now Riverdale. Did any of these roles come easier to land than the others?
Van Helsing was one. I have a really great relationship with Simon Barry, who is a creator, showrunner from when I was on Continuum, and he was doing Van Helsing at the time. And I had worked with his producing partners on Van Helsing on a show called Hell on Wheels. So that fell into place.
Great show.
Hell on Wheels?
Yeah, man, that show is awesome.
Oh, man. Unbelievable. One of my dearest, oldest friends, Chris Heyerdahl, plays the Swede on the show. And I think,
cool.
One of the most incredible arcs and performances I've ever seen. That guy is just a beast.
Yeah, and if people that are listening haven't seen this Hell on Wheels, that series, man, is awesome. Dude, it's
do
awesome.
Yourself a favor, find it, watch it.
You need to watch it.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I had formed some great relationships. There was a director, Michael Nankin, and Neil LaBute had worked on the show, and I happened to have this really great arc on the show, and I had a very memorable, one of my episodes was incredibly memorable, specifically this one scene I did with Common and Anson Mount, and it kind of really stuck out for a lot of people, and that was something that was remembered when I sort of was having my meetings with everybody for Van Helsing. And originally Van Helsing, I was supposed to play a different role, and it didn't work out, and I came in at the end, and then they killed me because they wanted me to go do Ghost Wars, and then I did Ghost Wars, and then that didn't go. Anyway, the business is crazy like that.
Yeah, totally. And as a superhero fan, a comic book reader, like Arrow had to be right up your alley.
Man, that was a blessing. I don't know how I got that. I got a call one day, and like they want to know if you'd want to do Arrow, and I was like, oh, like you didn't mean they want me to audition? They're like, no, they just want you to be on the show. And I was like,
wow,
cool. And it was great. I mean, my only thing is, look, I still want to play a superhero or a supervillain before I get too old. Like I'm determined, man. Like I've played characters close. The character I played on Continuum was sort of like had these Wolverine kind of abilities, and that was cool. But the only bummer about Arrow is I was like, please secretly give me a power or something, and, but obviously that wasn't in the cards. And they hung on to me on that show for longer than they needed to. I knew where that character needed to end up. We all knew.
Right.
And they postponed it as long as they could because we were having a blast. I mean, I had such an incredible time on that show. It was so much fun.
I bet.
We shot all the stuff on the island sets, so it was mostly just a lot of times it's just me and Steven, and not a lot of distractions. This beautiful location, there's a beach right there, and so it was a good time for sure.
Mm-hmm. And so was it DC? Was it Marvel as a kid? What was the?
It was Marvel as a kid, for sure. I mean, I do love the DC. I love the dark DC stuff. I was a big Frank Miller Dark Knight fan. And
do you remember when you first read Watchmen? And
of course,
mind blown you were. Like, how good was that?
Oh man,
as a
of
kid,
course. I mean,
like, what?
That was. I mean, look, that won real mature literary awards. Like it won it won the bigs, like a novel. So a funny story, I was shooting this movie that I don't think anybody saw called Passengers, not the recent one, it was an older one with Anne Hathaway and Patrick Wilson and Diane Wiest and David Morse. It was an incredible cast. And I was shooting this movie, and I knew they were looking at doing the new Watchmen movie, and this was back when like Keanu Reeves was attached to be Dr. Manhattan and stuff. And all of a sudden, Patrick Wilson shows up on set. He's got the Watchmen graphic novel. I was like, what are you doing? What are you doing with that? And he's like, oh man, he pulled me aside and he sort of told me they were looking at him for Night Owl. And I was like, I know everything about this book. I know everything. And so we talked and talked and talked. Then they start shooting it, and I had got to know Zack Snyder a little bit. I was going to be in the thing. It was a whole crazy. I get this call to go to the table read because Billy couldn't make it. So would you come in and just fill in and be Dr. Manhattan, and play the role with the entire cast and all the producers and Zack? And I thought, well, this is my chance. And it was amazing. And I looked across the table, and Jackie Earle Haley, full character as Rorschach at the table read, and I was like, oh, this guy is perfect. It was so cool, man. Like, just to see like Patrick get that call at the very beginning, and then I don't know if he had something to do with me being at the table read, and then I got cast in it, and then I had a scheduling conflict and couldn't do it, and I was like,
oh man. If you could have a superpower, then which power would you want to have?
Well, so Nightcrawler is probably my favorite mutant of all time, and I love the idea of teleporting. I just think that I just love that kind of. I hate flying. I hate it. I don't like flying. I don't like being on planes. I have to do it all the time. And I was like, man, if I could just teleport, that would be fantastic.
It's the best power. That literally is the power I always tell people.
Oh, really?
It's the power, man. It's the best one.
Yeah. You could just imagine you're at that shitty party and you just cannot wait to get out of there. And you're like, you know what? I'm just going to sneak over to the hockey game for a second and see what's going on.
Yeah,
no
right.
one would notice. You just pop back in.
You smell the brimstone and, you come back. You're like, hey, what's going on, guys?
Yeah. Something's burning.
Yeah.
No, I just had to.
Yeah.
I had to go check the score. I had to go check the score on the Canucks game.
Nice. What are you binge watching lately yourself? Like, you're in so many shows, but what do you? If you find the time, what are you binging right now?
Well, right now I'm watching The Witcher.
I just heard that's good. I haven't seen it yet.
It's good. It is good. I'm not gonna say the problems I have with it, but I really like it.
Yeah, that must be tough, hey, as somebody that knows the industry and knows the craft as well as you do.
Well, and I know people involved in it as well. So
like to watch something, how hard is that for you to actually push it aside and be like, all right, like let's just watch this as a fan, not somebody that's in it as a critic kind of thing? How hard is that? Mostly it's easy. Yeah.
If there's, say, an actor in it that I'd worked with, or maybe we didn't get along or something, I find that a little distracting sometimes, or there's a performance that I'm like, eh. But mostly, I can still do it. I can still, get into the fantasy of it all.
Entertainment guests of the Toddcast podcast are powered by Pete's Meat, Butchery Shop and Deli, 2817 Arbutus, Kitsilano, Vancouver, and online at pete's-meat.com.
You better lock up your loved ones, run for your life, because the heartbreak is coming. It cuts like a knife, don't get it twisted. Or act like a fool, you either head for that border or you stay in this school. This ship is sinking, this town is a joke. Costs more to die than to just stay afloat. These snakes are poison, thirsty for blood. You either slaughter that pig or track it down in the mud. Well, it's the devil's payday and she's working for tips. Got a tight blue dress and those big cherry lips. And she's coming for me and she's coming for you. No matter what you do. Now times are changing, we're always at war. The streets are paved with gold, but we always want more. Well, we're still breathing. How long will that last when the map to our future lies right in our path? Well, it's the devil's payday and she's working for tips. She got a tight blue dress and those big cherry lips, and she's coming for me and she's coming for you, no matter what you do. Working for tips, she got a tight blue dress, big cherry lips. She's coming for me, coming for you, no matter what you do.
The Toddcast podcast is powered by Milano Coffee, bringing you the finest espresso and coffee concepts in the world. Online at milanocoffee.ca.
Who you are, where you've been. I'm feeling empty, so I think I'll go outside, grab me a whiskey, place all my ghosts to reside. Don't worry about tomorrow, 'cause today ain't no breeze. They're saying that I can't see the forest for the trees. Tell me something that I don't know. Tell me something that I don't know yet. Self-destructive ride, kinda like the danger. And for now, I guess it's alright. You love me when you're lonely, and then disappear for days. I got Lola on the line saying it's time we part our ways. But tell me something that I don't know. Tell me something that I don't know yet. Tell me something that I don't know, yeah, yeah, yeah. Tell me something that I don't know. There was a time when I felt like your queen, but I haven't seen you sober in weeks. And I can't get me no more sleep. You're the habit that I really shouldn't keep. Tell me something that I don't know.
A look at this week's keyboard warriors, Todd's Trolls, on the Toddcast podcast.
Once again, the chirping is absolutely relentless. I bet you cannot surf for 20 minutes and not see those garbage comments to pretty much anything and everything. No one and nothing is safe. Green Day has sold more than 85 million albums. They've won 5 Grammy Awards, and yet they took heat this week. Their new album comes out in a few days, February 7th. It's called Father of All Motherfuckers, which will go over really well in radio.
Really? Do people still give a shit about Green Day? I had no idea. Someone should check the expiry date on this band. Something smells a little bit off. Every song has sounded the same since the 90s. Seriously, they're the Melba Toast of punk rock.
As a comic book nerd, I cannot wait to see Birds of Prey and the fantabulous emancipation of one Harley Quinn. That's in theaters as of this weekend. They cannot make enough superhero movies. Harley Quinn, Huntress, Black Canary all team up. Ewan McGregor plays a kingpin in Gotham City's criminal underworld. Margot Robbie is back in the lead role.
I don't know. That trailer did nothing for me. Without the Joker, this movie is a joke. See? Proof that not every superhero movie is a home run.
And in case you missed it, maybe you weren't online or weren't living for the last few days, the Super Bowl was this past weekend. Kansas City Chiefs took on the San Francisco 49ers.
Boring. Rather watch my feet get nailed to the floor with rusty nails. Ugh. New drinking game. Every time there's a shit call, drink. The only thing worth watching about this year's Super Bowl was Demi Lovato's ass at halftime.
Todd's Trolls on the Toddcast podcast is brought to you by Good Times Gin and Tonics, putting the GTs back in the GNT. Check out goodtimesdrinks.com.
step over the line, remember this moment in time. Realize we no longer want to live forever.
Something tears me apart and now I walk away. Something breaks my heart and now I gotta scream. Someone let the fire out and burn into the grave. Don't let me die with them. Don't let me
They are Crankshaft, and a great song for them called Tears Me Apart, and they're going to be opening up the night in a couple Saturdays downtown Vancouver, Saturday, February 15th at the Railway Stage and Beer Cafe. Toddcast Podcast presents Bonds of Mara's first Vancouver show, No Liars and Crankshaft. $10 in advance. It's $15 if you wait for the door. Played you Emily Malloy, and her song was called Tell Me Something, and you also heard Kellen Sipe, and his song was called Devil's Payday. Emily and Kellen are opening up the night for our next Friday night series, Volume 31, at the end of the month on Friday, February 28th, again at the Railway, downtown Vancouver. Patrick Gavigan and Phil Dixon, who are playing together. That alone is worth the ticket price, at least $8 in advance right now through myshowpass.com. Things will get underway at 9 o'clock, and maybe we'll see you there. Really looking forward to next week. If you hadn't heard, WWE SmackDown superstar Dolph Ziggler is a guest. Here he talks about his 6.5 million followers.
I'm lucky. It's a weird world because I'm one of those. My generation grew up without social media and with social media, and we can kind of turn it off. I know we laugh sometimes, but there's young kids who, if you're getting bullied at school, and then sometimes you go home and you go on social media, you're getting bullied there, and it doesn't end 24 hours a day, and that is something they have to live with. And we do so many different things about kids getting bullied online, and it's a real bummer that it exists, but it does, and it's everywhere.
Yeah.
But I had like that life before cell phones, to where I went and played till it was dark outside, and then came inside and ate and went to bed, and I watched a little TV or something. But I can turn it on and turn it off, and I'm very, very lucky. I use social media to promote shows, like comedy shows, wrestling shows, appearances, and fun Q&As, because I like to interact with the fans and let them know I'm not just the guy that goes out there and wrestles for 5 minutes. Sometimes, I have a brain too. And it's fun to just make jokes. So I'm very lucky to where I don't take it seriously. I have fun. I put people in their place, but usually I am there to joke around, which, by the way, until 2016, that's what Twitter used to be for, joking around and reading news. And now it is just everybody fighting with each other, which is fine, as long as you still don't take that seriously. But there's so many grown-ups, so many that take it so seriously that they probably go to bed thinking about someone that made them mad, and I go to bed smiling thinking I can't wait to get on there again.
Like, could that be the best way to look at social media? I'm thinking so. Joining Dolph Ziggler on next week's podcast, Chantel Kreviasek called up over the Christmas holidays. And from Teen Titans Go, Beast Boy voiceover actor Greg Sipes is a guest. I'm super stoked for that one. Of course, I wanted to give a big thanks to this week's guests as well. Black Joe Lewis. Man, I really dig your band, and thank you so much for taking some time and jumping on the phone with us. Looking forward to the next time you guys play here in Vancouver. Mercedes Nicoll, great to talk with you. It was really nice to see you back in Whistler as well when I was hosting that Echo in the Canyon night with Jacob Dillon. That was a great night. Looking forward to hearing your podcast as well when you launch. Of course, keep me in the loop as well, and talk soon. And actor Ryan Robbins, dude. So great to catch up after all of these years, a couple decades, man. Wow, that stuff flies by. Congratulations on the success. And yeah, man, let's crush those beers and hang out sooner than later. And I think that's going to do it for this episode 214. My name is Todd Hancock. Thank you so much for listening and being part of the podcast. If you like what you heard, please tell your friends. If not, tell me. I'll fire everybody on staff. I'll just be ruthless. It's a pretty small staff. Subscribe on iTunes and Spotify and SoundCloud. You can comment and rate the podcast. It does help out. Search it out through Toddcast podcast. Huge thanks to all of our wonderful sponsors. We straight up could not do it without their support. You can find links to all sponsor websites at toddhancock.ca. If you'd like to sponsor the podcast, you can for as little as $10 a day. It's cheap. There's contact info at the homepage. Maybe we'll hang, have a beer, have a coffee, and see what we can do. Till next week, don't be an asshole. Nobody wants to be around that. Have fun, play hard, and most of all, believe in yourself.
The Toddcast Podcast. Keep in touch with Todd through Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and bookmark toddhancock.ca.
Goodbye, Kyle.
Did the sound of those words call to you like Pavlov's dog? Then you might enjoy our podcast, Turtle Time.
Every week, you can join me, Riley Hamilton, and my co-host, Amy Scarlotta, as we cover the most pressing Bravo news and dig into the new episodes to answer important questions like, who the hell is Adrian Malouf in this world?
Listen to Turtle Time on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. New episodes every Wednesday and Friday.
Reality TV is messy.
Pop culture is louder than ever.
And the internet
completely unhinged.
Welcome to Roxanne
and Chantel,
the podcast where cousins Roxanne and Chantel break down reality TV, celebrity drama, and the stories everyone's texting about.
We recap the shows,
spill the headlines,
and sit down with the stars themselves.
No filter,
no boring takes,
just the tea.
New episodes every week.
If it's trending,
we're talking about it.
This is Roxanne
and Chantel.
Let's get into it.
Do you ever watch a TV show set in a historical time period and think, how accurate is this really? But also, does it matter if it's accurate or not?
Nefertiti is a new podcast about shows set in ancient times. This season, we're recapping every episode of the show Spartacus, Blood and Sand.
I'm Ann Foster, and I have never seen this show before.
And I'm Gina Berry, and I have watched this show maybe too many times.
Join us every other Monday on the Nefertiti podcast as we discuss the real history behind Spartacus, Blood, and Sand.
Follow Nefertiti, that's Nefer TV, wherever you get your podcasts.